But yeah, speaking of Snerdcast coming back with some Snerd bites.
The Shnerd bites, the Shnerd bits, the fun size stuff.
Hell yeah, and dude, Dexter, bro.
This
Dexter,
new episode.
bro.
What was it
By
called? By
the
the skin of her teeth.
episode
Yeah,
7.
that was such a
Woo.
good man. That one started. I was immediately excited for it based on how the last episode ended, where Angela calls him and is like,
I need
"I,
Dexter.
I don't need Jim. I need Dexter."
And then that's how
Uh,
the episode starts, right? Is they're in the cave, and it's funny because last episode I think we were talking about how we never get to see Dexter do his forensics anymore.
yeah.
And look what I mean, it's not like his usual forensics, but he did kind of.
No, you know what I really liked is what you point that out. We haven't gotten in a while. It's funny you point that out because I like this scene a lot when he is flashing the light on the body and there's like it's like night and day, literally, when you think about how he used to do forensics.
Yeah.
In the most of the time during the day, bright lights. This time it was in a cave in the dark, like you're somewhere you go to hide. I thought that was it was like perfect. It was very fitting.
Yeah, man. And by the way, you shouldn't eat because that's why it took me a little longer because I paused the episode and I started making food. And then I started eating, and then I just see him like playing with the dead body and like
It
picking
pulls
at
the teeth out.
the tooth out. I'm like, great. I'm over food right now. I'm gonna put this down for a couple seconds.
Yeah, you know, it made it more yummy.
The
That
only thing I
top
didn't
ramen,
like though is how rubbery it was.
the body.
Yeah, like I wish
Yeah,
it
no,
made it a little more stiff, but
they've always had that issue on that show with body parts. If you remember in the first two seasons, it clearly looks like a mannequin, like the body parts from the ice truck killer and stuff.
yeah.
Dude, they've never had great luck with that part of the show. But I think that the show, the reason it's so good, it speaks for itself. So those little things don't really, you notice them, but you choose not to let them affect your opinion on the show.
Exactly. So I mean everybody's kind of interacting with each other, so I guess we should just break it down scene by scene.
Yeah, we can
Um
do that if you want.
so after that is pretty much when Dexter goes back and he talks with Harrison. And Harrison, this whole episode just seems like a fucking like he's pissed and
Dickhead.
mad.
Yeah,
And
being
he's
a
he's
dickhead.
definitely like, yeah, at this point he's very angry with everybody and everything. And Dexter has that little moment with Deb though, like the only time she's in his conscious is where she's pretty much saying, you should kill him.
Yeah,
Wait for the police. And I thought that was very interesting. Like Deborah's kind of turning more
to the
like,
dark passenger.
yeah. So I found that
noticed
very
that.
interesting. Um yeah. And it was funny too is when they were eating, they both ate the same way. You noticed that when they're eating?
Harrison and Dexter. Yeah, they both remember during the beginning seasons, everybody would always be like, Jesus Christ, are you hungry? And like he'd just be like grubbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Harrison both ate that way. And then I loved the subtleness of Dexter, like being like, you need hot sauce.
Yeah.
And Harrison being like,
pushed
all
it
right,
towards
fuck
him.
it. And he like
He's like,
drenches it all over it.
I don't need your help. I can grab my own hot sauce, Dad.
Yeah,
Jim.
come on, Jim.
But and then he goes to school and fucking what's her name?
Like
Audrey.
Audrey, yeah, she totally blows off Harrison.
Well, that's because Harrison fucking destroyed the dude's fucking elbow. Just
so we're taking sides now.
But that I've also noticed. I also noticed that Harrison's very sensitive because she's like, "What you did was kind of wrong and like weird." And Harrison was like, "You know what? Fuck you, bitch! I have my fucking hand."
I forgot. I got things to do.
Yeah,
like, walked away basically.
I got my fucking hand, girl. I could do it myself.
Yeah, I'll do it like that guy in Scary Movie. He's like, I don't need you.
Whoa,
He
whoa,
throws his
whoa,
legs
whoa.
over his head.
Yeah, that was the funniest shit to me when I was little. I'm not gonna lie,
Me too. When I was a kid.
because Yellow like fucking lifts his like legs up. He's like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, woo.
what's his name? I forget his name, like David Cross or something like
Yeah,
that.
David Cross. Yeah, David Cross. He's from also from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Yeah, hella funny.
He was also in San Andreas.
He was. You're right. He didn't he play Z or something like that. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, dude. She rejects him because he broke that kid's elbow, rightfully so.
Yeah, dude. And this is where things get a little interesting because Dexter shows up at Harrison's work because Harrison's cleaning trucks and everything. That's pretty much what Kurt is having Harrison doing for his job.
Yeah, clean it. He's like a truck stop boy.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a good boy. He's not one of those naughty boys. So
he's not what would later in the episode be referred to as a lot lizard.
Dude. But yeah, so Dexter is at the he shows up to Kirk's the restaurant where Harrison's working. Harrison gets all pissed off because fucking he's like, "What are you doing here, dude?" Fucking
yeah.
He's like, he just has a whole attitude, like he just hates Jim.
Yeah, like that's the thing about it is they do kind of explain why he started out of nowhere acting like this though. Coming up, yeah, he blows up. When he blows up on Dexter, you're right. He totally is being like a dickhead, and it's like he has this whole attitude that, like you were saying, he hates Jim, and it's kind of like we got it the first few episodes with him, the abandonment issues, you know. But like at some point, this character needs to move forward. He can't just always be the same character.
Yeah,
you know, it has to change, and which they kind of do achieve by the end.
I'm sure exactly what you said. Yeah, and fucking the two beasts finally meet face to face with their masks unsheathed.
Trump and Biden. I mean, I'm just kidding. Fucking Dexter and Kurt.
Yeah, dude, and that was pretty interesting because they were literally just taking like subtle jabs at each other.
Bro, the creativity of this of Kurt is brilliant. So I won't skip ahead, but it's like he knew he was going to get arrested right there because he had that pie ready for when Angela walked through the door.
I don't know if he knew he was going to get arrested, but because he was definitely not expecting him to catch him for Iris. But I think it was more of like kind of like look like a friendly sit down in public, but it's really like I'm here to kind of like fucking.
Or yeah, maybe he did. Yeah, you're right, because how would he have known? Yeah, when they have that sit down at the table, it's way too intense. I was like,
it was funny though. Man. He's like, it seems like your son doesn't like to be home. It's like he almost wants to be away or like whatever. And Dexter's like,
almost like he wants to be with me.
Yeah, exactly. And then Dexter is like, oh, it's kind of like your son who's allegedly gone and back or whatever, like always gone into the night and stuff. And
the witty little banter was nice.
Yeah, and that's pretty much when he gets arrested and sent to the station where they pretty much fucking
dude. And I just want to point out something hella funny. You've seen Spider-Man 3, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it together just to make that clear. So the joke I'm telling lands. That scene when Kurt walks away, I knew, for one, I want to say this. I knew such bad things were going to come to Dexter for few reasons. And one of them being the check. You know what I'm talking about. We'll wait. I instantly knew what that was about when I seen it.
But when Kurt gets pretty much, he's interrogated now, and Angela is like pretty much berating him, and they bring in the CIA.
The district attorney.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then his lawyer comes in, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden.
Before that, though, because
you're right, the jail cell.
Yeah, well, no, even before that, when she's talking to him, there's one thing I wanted to point out was there's one thing he called her, and he called her chief. He kept calling her chief a couple times. Yeah, and I was like that's kind of like a double entendre, I think, maybe, like because she's the chief of police, but she's also Indian.
Yeah. I think there was also a backhand thing going on there. That's why I kind of thought like he knew. That's why I was mistaken. That I thought he knew he was getting arrested, and that's why he set up Dexter the way he did with the pie. But that conversation is another situation. This is why I thought that, because when he kept saying that to her, I also felt like by the end of it, he's like, "Listen here, sweetie, I'm sorry about your friend." When he said "sweetie," I was like, "This feels like a very controlled confrontation."
Well, also, they kind of showed it too. Since we're talking about that, I kind of noticed he put out his hand that she bit.
Yeah,
like to shake, and she's like, "Oh god."
Yeah, which by the
little things, man, it's so good.
Dude,
little things.
And before he gets out of there is a jail cell confrontation with Dexter and Kurt, and what Dexter goes and lets out Mary's little lambs. And
yeah, pretty much.
He basically lets out somebody's lambs or something, and then he sneaks into the jail. That's all it takes to break into that prison. That's a Terrible.
I mean,
person.
it's a little town, so
and he has a talk with
Kurt.
with Kurt, and he ends up finding out that a screw that one of the truck drivers gave to
Matt.
Harrison, to give to Dexter,
Yeah.
was the titanium pin inside of Kyle's. Is it Kyle?
Yeah, it's Matt.
Yeah.
It's Matt.
Oh, it's Matt inside of Matt's. In Matt's leg. That to me, I was like,
titanium. He tells him titanium doesn't melt.
Yeah,
and Dexter was like, "What the fuck?" And then he looked into it and he saw that it's titanium screws that they put into people.
Yeah, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Because Kurt figured out. He's like, "That night you picked me up, it's like." And before that, though, Kurt was kind of showing when they first had to sit down when Kurt brought the cake that he knew, because he said something. He's like, "It's almost like it was fate that you picked me up that night."
See, that's
and then
why
in the jail cell, that's when he tells him like that night when it was snowing, but I woke up the next morning and it wasn't snow, it was ash. And then that's when he's like, titanium doesn't melt. And then Dexter was like, "Thanks for the science lesson, dork," and he left.
The yellow pucks.
What I kind of liked though was like Dexter was like, "Oh, you're the one behind bars," and then Kurt was like, "Oh yeah, like you think this is gonna stop me? Like he has people working for him, he has outside connections, obviously."
And he already had figured out how he was gonna get out of there too.
But they kind of like the way they filmed Dexter. It wasn't from the side like him looking. You know what I mean? It wasn't like him looking through at the fucking through the bars. It was him on the opposite side of the bars.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, is that like a little like
he's gonna be in jail?
Yeah, is he gonna be in jail?
Good catch. Like I didn't notice that, but looking back, it was a side view that if you would reverse that thing, it would kind of look like Dexter was in jail.
Yeah, but
that's interesting.
Usually when they film those kind of scenes, you know what I mean? Like it's usually
through
like
the bars.
Yeah, usually, exactly. Like the person talking outside the jail cell is usually shown looking into the jail cell, but it was like flipped around where Dexter looked, like you said, if it was flipped around, you'd kind of look like Dexter was in jail.
Yeah, if you flipped it and like cut the sides off, it totally would. And just so everybody knows, because I don't want to mow over it, but that's basically the gist of what happens in that scene. But just so everybody knows, he gets off of the charges for killing Iris because he blames his dad. His dad apparently was very abusive to like prostitutes,
lot lizards,
lot lizards. And by the way,
about prostitutes.
By the way,
hookers.
That's if I'm not mistaken, that term is used in one of the earlier seasons also. Lot lizards.
I learned it from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, did you? Because I learned
it from picked up by a trucker, and he was like, "You guys have never seen some handsome lot lizards before." And he's like, "What's a lot lizard?" Like they didn't know. He's like, "Oh, let me show you."
I learned it from an episode of Dexter, but the old episodes. I just can't remember which episode. But anyways, Kurt blames his dad. His dad would pick up lot lizards, prostitutes,
and it showed like flashbacks too.
Yeah, and he would beat the shit out of these poor women, and then he basically
was, listening to that song too. Kurt would listen to the Runaway.
Yeah, good call. I forgot about that. But yeah, then years later, Kurt became a trucker, and he said that he's seen his dad at the same truck stop pick up that girl, and he thought nothing of it basically, and he got off of all the charges. That's kind of it's
also
crazy.
Simultaneously while he's saying that, it shows a young Kurt picking up Iris.
Yeah,
it shows him killing. It shows Kurt actually killing while Kurt's telling the story that his dad was the one who picked him up, or her.
Yeah.
But so we obviously know Kurt did kill Iris, so it's
for sure.
They confirmed it for us. There's no like second guessing anymore. But
yeah, that was Kurt, like, because he had the same. If you
had the rifle and everything, and
my big thing, the biggest indicator of that whole situation, right, was that because one could argue, well, how do you know that wasn't his dad and it's going to be a trick? Because she bit him.
Yeah,
and he has that scar. Yeah, it's
on his like hand or something.
Yeah, right where she bit him on his right hand, right here. So it's him. It's young Kurt.
And when he shot her too, he's like. Got that fucking feeling.
He's like, this song needs to play every time,
which
and it
probably
needs to be hunting.
Which probably makes sense too, like why he doesn't try to do anything sexual towards him, because his dad beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah. So, that's
obviously
good.
He got the violence nature from his dad, but I think killing just took it to the next level.
And then also mode. I agree 100%. The other part of it, I think, is for this character's like psyche. Like the psychology of this character is that it's something to do with him thinking he's going to help somebody and them refusing and him getting to kill them for them insulting him. You know what I mean? So because that's like literally what happened. He's like, I'll take you back home. And she's like, no way, I'm leaving. Like, I don't want to go back home. And then he gets upset and shoots her ass.
Yep. And
fucking,
he
gets off for blaming he says it was his dad.
Because it was 67%, something like that. And that was his DNA, but it's like not 100% that it's for sure his. Which,
yeah, there was 33%.
We got to mention that because we kind of did gloss over that. He got the DNA from the teeth and then the mouth swab from Matt. So that's how they did. But the DNA was not enough to prove that.
Yeah,
from the tooth.
Yeah, no, not from. I don't think they got the mouth swab from Matt. The mouth swab. Was
no.
Kurt.
My bad. From Kurt,
yeah.
From the Matt investigation, they got Kurt's mouth swab
when they were doing the search.
Yeah.
So they got the teeth. That's when she bit. That's what he's saying is when she bit Kurt. She had skin on her teeth before she died, and that's what kind of helped. But it was only 67%. 33 wasn't his. So that's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works.
It's just like the way they're getting the evidence is not legal, so a lot of it might not hold up in the court of law or something like that. Because Dexter said something like when they went to go. This is what I want to bring up. Funny enough, when we went to the cabin and it was just gutted. You know what I mean? He got rid of all the stuff in there.
That's right before. Sorry, everybody. I know we jump around. Right before Kurt's arrested, Dexter decides to take Angela the cop to the cabin where he saved the podcaster from in the last episode, and he's like, "This is where it happened," and everything's gone. It's all good. You can see, he notices a bunch of like drag marks in the dirt,
and then also inside like. Definitely got everything got pushed out in a rush and everything.
Yeah, he got rid of everything and like made it, and then they smelled bleach too, so he cleaned.
Yeah, he cleaned everything and did all that stuff. So whatever,
very
evidence,
suspect,
hella suspect. But he said something like where he was like, "Oh, the illegal evidence that we found that your ex-boyfriend or boyfriend or whatever found that if they brought it up like
he does say that. Yeah, he does say that.
And then it's also breaking and entering without a warrant. So like a lot of stuff that they did were illegal. So, and she obviously was running on pure emotion because it's very personal to her. And even when the first interview, when right before this, when the recording,
with the videotape,
when Kurt was confessing about his dad, he pretty much. She said, like,
what about the mom and what about me? That's what you're talking about, right?
She showed her her emotions, her personal side, and especially when with the cop stuff, it's you can't take things personal because that's when the district attorney or whatever came in and stopped the interview, and that's when he got released and did all that stuff. But it seems like Coach also, I forgot his name, but seems like Logan. Yeah. It seems like he kind of has a feeling too that he knows that he killed Iris.
I noticed that too about that cop. Damn it!
And she was actually pretty almost spot on, like because she thinks that that the dad that Kurt killed Matt. Yeah. When he was like, "What the fuck? I would not kill my own son. I only like killing innocent girls."
Yeah, dude. I'm still like, it's crazy. Like when Dexter got that steel pen, I'm like, why would you keep that on you? Like, get rid of that, like, immediately, dude.
Well, that's what he was doing. He went to Kurt's office. That's where he found the check when he broke into Kurt's office.
And so,
he was looking for because they're obviously more than one pin.
Yeah, they came in a set. He said.
Yeah.
He didn't find that, but he did find the check. And I'll tell you, when I first seen that check, you know what my first thought was?
What's up?
Hitman. I was like, this is an assassin. And then that's
the guy at the end.
Yes, and it was. One could argue, that's the money for the truck driver who delivered the envelope with the screw in it to Harrison. That's not the case. Like, I think 5,000 was for like a no-name hitman to kill Dexter.
Yeah,
and
that makes more sense. I didn't even think about that. I was like, why the fuck is he like giving this dude a check?
Yeah, it had to have been the name of the killer on it, and then $5,000. And
I would be offended. $5,000.
I know. Be like, I'm only worth $5. Shit. At least put another 0 on there.
But so before we really talk about the end of the episode, let's talk about Harrison pretty much remembering because he's doing his job.
So
pretty much
was
at the
right.
end of the episode.
I want to say I was right. I called it that those kids were going to come back for his ass.
Yeah, I mean, but he did hold his ground. He pulled out the fucking straight blade because they said their captain was out for the month or the year or whatever, the season.
Yeah,
and he pulled out the switchblade and cut them.
Yeah, he had
like,
that.
what the fuck?
It's like
and he's like, I'm gonna geek you.
Yeah, he cut that coat, and they were like, oh, and then Dexter, with only the speed of the Flash could match, came out of nowhere that nobody noticed or heard him in the snow.
Not even the other guys.
Yeah, they didn't even notice him. That came up behind him, and he caught Harrison's hand before he actually started some slicing and dicing, and cutting necks. What is it? Cutting necks and cashing checks.
You can do that, I guess. Yeah, snapping necks and cashing checks.
That's that's what it was. That's right, from Step Brothers.
But yeah, dude, and this is when Harrison pretty much like tells everything, and he remembers, and ever since he listened to that podcaster about the Trinity Killer, he said everything came back, and he remembers everything, and now he's just really angry at the world, and he's just like, I hate everybody. Which I mean, usually every teenager goes through at some point in time where they just fucking hate everything and everybody. It's funny, as South Park did episode was like, everything's just shit.
Yeah,
it all sounds like shit to me.
Yeah, when he wakes up in the morning and the music on the radio is just
and pretty much that's I mean, that's what Harrison's going through, but like it's actually for real because he remembers. And it shows it shows Trinity Killer too. He's like, your daddy will be home soon.
Don't you worry, I'm just naked.
Yeah, I know, right? Which is like,
it was cool seeing that part. Yeah. That was super nostalgic seeing what's his face again, Trinity Killer.
I forgot the actor's name.
Yeah, so do I, but he's Third Rock from the Sun and shit.
Yeah.
Great show. But anyways, yeah, that flashback got me hooked. And that's like right in that moment they have that argument. And like he starts getting mad, and I think, what does Harrison accuse him of that he knew?
He knew.
What did he know?
I think because he said he knew and he ran away and he never told me. So I think he's just mad because I think Harrison's more mad that Dexter has never talked to him about his mom.
Oh, okay.
And so I because when he said that too, I was like, what the fuck? But the only thing I could really think of is that Dexter just never brought it up to him, that Trinity Killer. But even Dexter, right before the end of the episode, but the hitman attacks him, he says he has to tell him everything. So I think before he could even get to Harrison,
Dexter, in that scene, Harrison runs away and gets in some random stranger's car and drives away.
The dude that gave him the fentanyl.
Yeah, that's right. Car. Always trustworthy. And anyways, and Dexter realizes, like you said, he's like, I need to tell Harrison everything about me. Yeah. And that's when the hitman shows up. Yeah, that's when the Candyman shows up and is like, gets that what is it called, a guillotine around him?
Something like that, like
or I forget what they're called, the rope strangling things, the steel. Yeah. I forget what they're called.
Like it's like a piano wire or some shit.
Yeah, something shit.
Weird. I think Dexter gets out of it. I think they're just trying to make it suspense. I didn't watch because they have the next episodes, and we don't watch the season previews or the next episode previews. But so if what we're talking about, we could be completely right, completely wrong.
I think that's how this next episode is going to start. Is very similar to
him trying to like break out of like being captured or something.
Yeah, or he'll luck out and Angela will discover him. I mean, Angela will see what happens or something.
We actually didn't even talk about Angela and the podcast are kind of coming together, and them talking about like how fucking Dexter and Kurt are both fucking weirdos, and how
that's also at the end.
Yeah, that's actually right before the end of the scene.
Yeah, so the podcaster and her, at that tavern,
because she tells everything what Dexter did, and the podcaster was like, well, no, like there's no way he could have heard us because he was all the way over actually where we're sitting right now, and we're at the bar. And then she found out that she was recording, and
she found the cop. The podcaster found out that Dexter was recording. You mean right? Yeah. Okay.
And then even she was like, because we were hella called like they're like his excuse for for coming in on the fucking on Kurt and the podcaster in the cellar. She even brings it up. She's like, he had a lame ass excuse for even being there. Honestly, like it was hella weird. Which,
dude,
it's true. What did he say? It was like some teenagers or something like that.
I thought I seen teenagers down here. I've seen some teenagers heading down here. I'm going suspect.
But yeah, so I think Angela's starting to put everything together. I think she's kind of starting to realize. I think she's going to do an even deeper dive. I think she's going to find out about the Bay Harbor Butcher. She might. What if she ends up contacting Angel again?
Yeah. Angel Batista.
I mean, she could.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind it. It'd be a super interesting way to go.
If Batista arrested fucking Dexter,
but it'd have to be for something.
Yeah, I mean, there's still 2 episodes left. It's 3 episodes left. So it's 8, 9, and 10.
Oh yeah, 10. There's 10. That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot that could happen, but Angela seems to be catching everything, especially when the podcaster's like, "Well, he's your boyfriend. You should know everything about him. Plus, you're the chief of police." And
yeah,
like her face was like, maybe I should do a deep dive. Like maybe I think she's gonna. So she's either gonna do like actually look into. Excuse me. She's gonna actually find out about the Bay Harbor Butcher and maybe put 2 and 2 together, or she might even end up contacting Batista again. She contacts Batista.
Yeah, I bet you, and she's like, "Hey, he was in the same precinct as you. I need to throw him a curveball, or I need more about him. Come meet him now. Like he's pissing me off, or because this character is so much like Deborah."
Yeah, or she could find out that he does like what he does, and she just might actually ask Dexter Morgan for another favor.
Okay, so one of my theories is that a situation that these characters we see are going to be put in a predicament where Dexter is the hero or forced or asked to be the hero after somebody discovers him or something. But like I said, that's been my saying from the beginning. But this episode, I will say that it kind of seems like what you just said. She may have to ask him for a favor kind of thing. That's kind of where what I seen from this episode, where it was like, I wonder if Kurt's going to get out of this and she's going to be like, all right, I know what you are. I figured it out by the end. Go kill him.
Yeah.
And leave me alone kind of thing.
Well, I know. I wonder what that conversation is going to be like when when he has all the when he has Kurt on his table. You think he's going to put up all the missing posters all over the place?
I hope so.
What if he kills him in the cave where Iris died?
Oh, but that was like a little hole.
Yeah, I mean, and Kurt's a big ass motherfucker. Which, by the way, it was like what, like 21 years or something like that.
Yeah,
so, dude. If I look like Kurt in 21 years, goddamn, what have I been doing to myself? Dude, like,
dude, like, he looked like
technically he's supposed to be like, okay, let's say he was like 25, 28, like in 21 years, he's fucking.
So he's only supposed to almost be 40s.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, he had to be in his like 40s.
Exactly, 40s or maybe like early like 50, 51, 50.
That character was not casted well at all.
No, dude, or that story they told, which that was 21 years ago or however long. Like, goddamn. Take care of your body, people, because that shit can happen to you.
Hey, unless he really this fucking fly, dude. I'm gonna go fly hunting right after this. Hey, who knows? Maybe they are throwing us a curveball. Maybe that really is Kurt's dad, and Kurt was in the car when he did that, and somehow it wasn't him that bit. It wasn't grown-up version of him that got bit. Maybe if it was kid version or something. What I'm trying to say is they could still have a curveball in store.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They could have Harrison kill him, or maybe even Angela kill him. So I
could see that. I could see Angela doing it and Dexter covering it up.
Yeah, or even Harrison killing him and just being like, "That's what it's called." Like you said, I think it was the last episode or the episode before because you referenced the name of the season, New Blood, and like you said, it could reference the new killer, Harrison.
So. That's true. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot. Me and you have so many theories on the board.
I know.
Like, and it's funny because some of them have been proved correct. From the episodes we've seen. So I'm excited to see more. I'm really excited now. I thought I was excited for this episode, and then Sunday just appeared, and I was like, it's already here.
I know.
Watched it. Dude, that episode ended, and I was like, please let Sunday come quick.
Yeah, man. I mean, Sunday will be the day after Christmas, so
fuck Christmas. It's about the day after Christmas for me right now.
That's what I'm saying. Is the day. But anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Missed or anything? Well, if we didn't miss anything,
great episode, by the way. I'll say that. Fantastic episode.
It's definitely building up. It's finally. I loved it when Kurt and Dexter like kind of just sat at the table, like you know what I mean, like with their masks off, showing their true selves.
Yeah.
And we still don't know how long Kurt has known, but it's been since after um, Dexter dropped him off.
Yeah.
Because Dexter even said if I wanted revenge, I would kill like if I knew somebody killed Harrison, I would definitely get him back.
Yeah.
So we'll see, dude. We'll see.
What if Harrison just dies the same way? Like Rita or somebody else died, and then fucking Dexter
Or
has
he
to
kills
kill Kurt.
and he's in the bathtub naked with him. He's like, just take this.
And it just ends with Dexter looking up.
What have I done?
They're just naked.
He leaves again
together.
and they just end it. he runs away again back to Oregon. I'm just kidding.
That's pretty good. I like that. That's the best theory.
But yeah, so if you made it this far, thank you so much. You rock. You're the best. If there's anything that we missed or something theories that you guys want to talk about, let us know down in the comments. And by the way, don't forget to check out the description for Cultcanon's channel. This dude got a lot going on. Always doing some stuff. Just uploaded a video today too.
I actually uploaded 2 today.
Oh well, there you go. I didn't see the second one. I saw the first one, but definitely check them out. Be safe. I know it's the week before Christmas, so be careful with the last minute Christmas shoppers. It's gonna be packed out there. A lot of family and everything. I know.
And late night driving too, because of drunk idiots.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. Just spend the fucking $100 for the Uber. It's okay. You got to spend the $100, and you know what I mean. You don't want to die before Christmas, before the next year. You don't want to die during the pandemic. And you
can die. You can die after New Year's. Just
exactly. But yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa, whatever it is you guys celebrate. If you don't do anything, just be safe, be happy, and Shnerdcast
out.